Let me move that. Well, no, let me move it down this way. She said they needed that.
Okay.
Manny, we have the right idea. Thank you.
I love all the color coding.
Well, yeah, we'll call it that. We'll call it color coding. Oh.
She wanted us to close the door.
I don't know. Does she?
She wanted to close the door. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, did everybody get their papers? You got everything? I don't know which all ones that you passed out already.
I'm not doing these till after.
You're not? Okay, that's later. Okay. Okay. I'll wait till everybody's in. Okay, I think we have everybody here and settled. My name's Jackie, and Heather's here. I'll introduce her in just a minute. I want to thank you guys for coming out here tonight. We have people in this room. We have people online, so we're live streaming this as well. It'll be recorded so that we can pass that around to some people who really wanted to be here tonight and couldn't make it. And apparently, we're to capacity anyways, so it works. So again, thank you for coming out tonight. Tonight is a service to you guys. We want to be here as in with a servant's heart and to get you information that you're here seeking. We have a hodgepodge of people who are here tonight that is awesome. From what I understand, we have people here who are here for information on just disease prevention, wellness. There's also a little bit of an emphasis tonight on cancer prevention, or if you've already been diagnosed, about survivorship and what that looks like. We also have people here who are interested in a product that Heather uses within her practice and with her clients. So we have people here who are interested in that, and so we're going to discuss that. She's done a masterful job of weaving all this information together and including how she uses a product. And then we have people here who are actually health coaches who are interested in information, or nutrition coaches. So we have a great group here. Look at this. We actually tried to get a bigger room, not here, but at the library. And guess what? They're booked up too. So because of tax season and all the tax prep and help that they have going on there. So tonight we will get started. And the first thing, we have to be out of this room at 7:45, and they close at 8, just so you guys are aware. So they said we have to clear this room out so they can get it ready for tomorrow morning's meeting. So we can take our conversation. We'll be done by then, but if you guys want to continue chatting amongst yourselves or with us individually, we'll meet you out there. Okay? Okay, so would it be okay if I took you on a little bit of a journey about what your life could look like in just 2 weeks from today? That's March 23rd. So I'll take you on a journey, and if that's okay, would you guys just close your eyes and take you on a journey of what life could look like in 2 weeks for you, or less. So it all starts with you getting out of bed before your alarm clock even goes off, or before your dogs wake you up, or your children, whatever wakes you up in the morning. You're up before them. You are actually energized. Your body feels like it wants to get out of bed and get your day started. Your body's full of vigor as you enjoy your morning and realize you don't need that morning drink, whatever it might be, to really get your energy flowing. It's already there. You are anticipating your day ahead. And it might look just like any other day, but you're excited for it. As you go about your day, you don't struggle with the body discomforts that you usually have struggled with. You notice that your shoulders are not tense or tight. Your hands, your hips, your back, your knees, your feet, all that pain is, or that discomfort is minimized. Your mental clarity and your focus is no longer a struggle. And when you hit midday, when you usually feel like you need a nap, you have energy. You have motivation. You get home from your day that actually had more stressors in it than you anticipated. But you're ready to make a meal, enjoy a healthy dinner with your family or your friends or yourself. Maybe complete a task, spend time with the family before you head to bed. And as you slip into bed, when you reflect on your day, you realize your mood is even keel, and it has been all day. You didn't struggle with maybe negative thoughts or just mood shifts throughout your day. And even though your day was more stressful than you anticipated, you actually handled it pretty well. And before you drift off to sleep, with your heart full of gratitude, you're looking forward to springing out of bed to do it all over again in the morning. Okay, you can open your eyes. If you feel like that's a fairy tale and that it's not possible for you because of the struggles that you've had, the diagnosis that you've received, I'm here to tell you that it is possible. I received a diagnosis 6 years ago, and though it wasn't life-threatening, it altered my state for the rest of my life. And it's going to steal my quality of life for the rest of my life, except that it's not anymore because I changed my nutrition. And what Heather's going to talk about tonight is possible to have what I just described in your life. And that's how you can wake up every day, is feeling that way. And I cannot believe that I can stand up here and tell you today that that's me, because I thought the rest of my life I was going to struggle and it was just going to go downhill from there. But I'm not. I can wake up just like the day I described. That's my usual day. And I'm a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids. They're with me all day long. They're little. They're not going off to school for half the day, but that's my day, and I get to enjoy that. So I want to introduce Heather to you. Heather has been a dietitian for 20 years. She currently works in oncology, but she loves wellness and she loves oncology. That's her favorite. She's also spent some time with the Spokane Shocks doing some sports nutrition there as well. She was a Zumba instructor, and when you don't find her at home with her 2 teenage kids, actually there's one standing right there, you might find her on the dance floor somewhere. So she loves to dance. So let's give it up for Heather Gabbert.
Hello.
It's a pinning ceremony.
Oh, yes. Well, as Jackie mentioned, thank you guys, everybody, for coming. And as Jackie mentioned, yes, I've been a dietitian for 20 years. And in about the last decade or so, sorry if my back's too. In about the last decade or so, I've really focused in on the health of the gut and how the chronic underlying inflammation and the effects it has on our gut, which is our intestinal tract, how that contributes and influences our overall health. So has anybody here made a change recently in their life trying to have more probiotics, prebiotics. Heard about all these things on the commercials. Yeah. So we were talking about on the way here that the walking intestine, the walking, talking intestine commercial. Yeah. So it's a very big focus. And so what we need to think about is gut health first. It houses 70% of your immune system. It's your hub. You got to take care of it. So not only do I talk about what goes in, I talk about what goes out too. So if you're having sluggish bowels, you know, normal bowels are not every day. I mean, every other day. Sorry, every day's normal. It's not every other day. It's not every 3 days. That's not normal. That's not optimal function of the gut. So what we want to aim for is that daily elimination of toxins and waste and help our body function optimally, and where we house that immune system, our hub. Okay, so probiotics. Recommended from foods. So we hear the recommendations from the American Institute of Cancer Research. They recommend fermented foods every day. So who in here likes sauerkraut or yogurt, kefir, kimchi, kombucha tea? Yeah. So those things are recommended on a daily basis. And not only probiotics, but we hear of prebiotics too. Have you heard about these too? Okay, so it's fibrous food. Any food that has fiber is going to help with the prebiotic source in your gut. And what happens? So I'm talking all this talk about the gut and the gut health. We've got bad bugs, good bugs. Probiotics and prebiotics support the good bugs. So we're going to take those in. The prebiotics are going to pretty much scooch the bad bugs out of the way. And they're going to say bye-bye. They're going to be excreted. And it's going to make room for the probiotics, those good bugs. We want those around. And you might notice a little bit of gas, a little bit uncomfortable feeling, and that's the bad bugs. They're trying to win. They're trying to say, oh, okay, well, you think you're going to get rid of me? Well, I'm going to make it difficult. And so they cause a little bit of gas, a little bit of bloat, and they make you crave carbohydrates. So, yeah. So what we got to do is try and fight that. Have the prebiotics as fibrous foods, fruits and vegetables. The fruits can take care of that craving that you're having, but they're also going to be in a perfect container along with fiber and other phytonutrients. So these are just like basics 101. You got to take care of that gut first and foremost. So we've got your prebiotics, we've got your probiotics. Knowing that we store 70% of our immune system right here in our intestines, we're going to aim for that bowel movement daily, right? Okay. So we can take care of sluggish bowels and bowels that move too swiftly on us with fibrous foods. And I recommend a website. It's called helpforibs.com.
There's pens in that bag right there. I don't know if you want pens, but go ahead and pass them around. And there's also that paper there if you need to write on piece of paper. And is it FOR or the number 4? FOR.
Yep, helpforibs.com. And I'm not saying that everyone has irritable bowel syndrome, which is what IBS stands for, but I am recommending that you go to that site. It's free. It is called Heather's Tummy Care, but it is not me. It's another Heather. She's in Seattle. And she has a wonderful sheet. And it lists the foods of the prebiotics. So it's going to list out soluble fiber foods, insoluble fiber foods. And I want you to really focus on that and focus on eating those foods together to promote that nice elimination daily. Okay? All right, so helpforibs.com. One thing I didn't mention, was hydration. Hydration is one of those things that's so easy, but we somehow find it so difficult, right? So 8 times a day, we need to have 8 ounces of fluid, whether it be water, teas, 100% juices, possibly diluted if you have trouble with sugar. So that's a standard. That's not for everybody, but it's a nice standard to follow. And really listen to your body. You have that mind-body connection that nobody else has. So if you're on your 7th cup of water for the day and you feel like you're sloshing, you need to stop, okay? So really listen to your body. So hydration will help everything run, just like putting gas in the car. You need that hydration. Physical activity is a must mention. We don't care if it's walking 5 minutes at a time. Recent research shows that walking 5-minute bursts throughout the day or having light exercise throughout the day, it all counts. It all adds up. The thought of having to have that workout of 15 to 30 minutes at a time is no longer the case. We can interject those whenever we can in the pockets of our day. Okay, so federal guidelines for recommendations for exercise are 150 minutes a week, and then trying to have 2 strength training sessions. Correct? Okay. All right. A week.
Or more.
Or more. That was Ken. Close, everyone. So we're talking about the gut health, the physical activity, taking care of our hub, right? Our body, our mind-body connection. We're talking about that daily elimination of waste and toxins. There's 3 hot things that are mentioned in research right now for nutrition-focused research. Here in front of you, and sorry for the folks streaming in, here in front of you, you have Dr. Andrew Weil's anti-inflammatory approach to nutrition intake. This is what I've adopted for my clients, for myself. It's the foundation of my recommendations for nutrition intake. So this is what to eat. And nutrition is very important. If you take a look here on the bottom, you'll see some words, all in bold at the very bottom. And you'll notice the last word is turmeric or turmeric. Either way is a fine pronunciation. And it looks like this. I brought it because everyone always asks me, what does it look like? What is it? So it's really yellow, and it turns your foods yellow. But as Anna can attest, I put it in our foods daily, and it doesn't affect the taste. It just turns things yellow, right? So turmeric is a major anti-inflammatory, and it also offers antioxidant power. So we do recommend that you use turmeric in your foods. You can put it in your chicken, your fish, soups. It's nice in soups. You don't even know it's in there, but your body's going to know the effects of it. So a 1/4 teaspoon a day of turmeric. Okay, and then what?
What is the effect of that again?
Anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. And then another major anti-inflammatory and antioxidant that's in the research right now for nutrition focus is cinnamon. So who here loves cinnamon? Yeah, all right. So a 1/4 teaspoon a day added to your foods. It'd be great if you are already doing isogenics. You could put it into your shake. And enjoy that, again, as an anti-inflammatory antioxidant. The third one is tart cherry juice. You might have heard about this. Tart cherry juice is being touted in research as being an anti-inflammatory so strong and powerful that it's being used for patients with gout and inflammatory conditions. So it's one of those things that's showing you the power of foods and food items. So tart cherry juice is recommended at 2 ounces a day. So I just tell everyone to kind of take your shot. It is recommended in the evening hours because it may increase your melatonin, your melatonin levels. The subjects in the studies were found to be very sleepy after they took in the, there's papers right here if you want to made them sleepy during the day. So then they said, okay, we need to move this to the nighttime. We had to figure out what was going on, and then indeed it increased melatonin levels. So if you're having a hard time with sleep or having a hard time relaxing, there is evidence that shows that tart cherry juice is effective in that. All right. I'm mentioning a lot about nutrition-focused research. I'm going to give you another website. As you can based, so you can go to nutritionfacts.org, and there's a gentleman on there. He summarizes the studies for you and also provides links to different nutrition-focused research. So we've gone through the anti-inflammatory, we haven't gone through this yet, sorry. So the anti-inflammatory meal plan approach, the pyramid, you can see that the foundation is dark and bright color fruits and vegetables. So basically we're aiming for about 2.5 cups of produce per day. Moving our way up, it does incorporate some whole grains, the nuts, seeds, beans, legumes, lentils, and the gold standard right in the middle is for omega-3. Omega-3 fatty acids, has anybody heard of that? Okay, all right, powerful. It's the most potent anti-inflammatory occurring naturally in our diet. The gold standard for that is Alaskan cod, which we're so lucky to have it nearby and sent to us. Alaskan cod, wild caught Alaskan salmon. There are some other sources listed there, as well as, let me back up a little bit, the walnuts in the nuts and seeds area. Walnuts are highest out of the nuts for omega-3 content, and then the pumpkin seeds for the seeds. Okay, so we try to incorporate those on a daily basis too, trying to get more omega-3s, be more anti-inflammatory in our approach for nutrition intake. On the pages to follow, it will list out the food, so what it is, how much you need of it, and why. So it's pretty neat. And again, this is from drweil.com, and this is Andrew Weil. He's Dr. Andrew Weil. Yeah, I see some heads shaking. Yes, he's a guru in anti-inflammatory nutrition, and he happens to live in Arizona, so he's close too. All right, so we've got what to eat. Another sheet, let me just show this, are the mini meals and snack ideas, and this we'll somehow get it to you all. This can be used, say you are already doing some isogenics or you're looking into it. One of the main questions I get is, what do I do for my meals? What do I do for my snacks? And so I recommend anything that's derived from this anti-inflammatory meal plan approach. You can use these, and even if you're not, it's a great idea to use these as ideas for mini meals. You can load them up a little bigger and make a regular size meal out of it, and of course having that snack. So we're talking about what to eat, but I haven't talked about when to eat. So how many of us tend to be grazers? We like to snack throughout the day, have small amounts. Anybody? Yeah, all right. So what we wanted, that's great. So oh, bless you. What we try to do is not go past the 4 hours between nutrition intake. What that does is that can possibly feed that inflammatory process that's constantly going on in here. It can stress the body out. The body doesn't know nutrition's on its way, so that metabolism is going to slow down. Say, well, I'm just going to hold tight here. I hear it all the time. People telling me, gosh, I'm not eating and I'm not losing weight, I'm gaining. Well, that's why. Because the metabolism says, okay, well, you're not going to feed me. I'm going to slow our way down. I'm going to take care of business, and I'm not going to work as optimally for you. So a real good idea to try and have those snacks and little mini meals all throughout the day, if that works for you. But we can always figure something out. Where was I? So we've got the prebiotics, the probiotics. That's all the gut information. Want to hydrate, what to eat. We've got our physical activity component, and it's great for an everyday approach. This can be every day. If you take a look at the menu, the mini meal and snack ideas, again, if you are doing isogenics, the shakes, the bars, the snacks, those can be incorporated too into the day. It all works synergistically because it can be part of that approach that we're talking about for nutrition intake that can help fuel the body and help us work optimally. Let's see here. I wanted to take a second because, you know, yes, foods are the best, and isogenics is food. We do incorporate it into our daily intake. There's science behind it. It's backed by 25, 45 full-time scientists working on it. I'm evidence-based. I researched the formulator extensively. I had my dietitian, I had my dietitian friends do their research, came back to me, it's legit. So it's one of those things that Isogenics does spend a lot of money doing third-party testing, and I don't recommend anything that's not third-party tested as far as supplements. So it's a genuine product. Now I'm talking about all this for a daily basis. It's a very good thing for everybody every day. However, if you are a patient that is in active cancer treatment, or perhaps you're coaching someone who is in active cancer treatment. That would be chemotherapy and or radiation. There are some things that we need to be conscious of, and that being concentrated forms of antioxidants can actually interfere with such treatment. So for you coaches out there and for anyone going through cancer treatment right now, it is recommended that you can have the isolene shakes, the isolene pro, the isopro, which is undenatured whey protein, the replenish, which is now being changed to amped hydrate, and hold on, I think there's one more thing. Oh, and the snacks and the bars. Those are okay as well. So if going through treatment, again, you can do the isolene shakes, isolene pro, isopro, the amped hydrate or replenish, the bars, and the snacks. What is not allowed, however, during active treatment, and of course check with your physician, but what's not allowed at my cancer clinic where I work at, and many others across the nation, would be no ice of fruits, no ice of greens, no cleanse, no ionics, and no e-shot. Okay, so no ionics, no cleanse, no e-shot, no ice of fruits, no greens. So 5. And simply because, again, they can interfere possibly with treatment. So we're going to be real careful with that. We wouldn't want to do anything to interfere with that. After you're done with cancer treatment, it is recommended that you wait 2 to 4 weeks or 9 to 20 days following radiation, 2 to 4 weeks following chemotherapy, to incorporate those items that I mentioned as a no-go into your world. All right. So,
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
which
4 weeks after.
2 to 4 weeks after chemotherapy.
After chemo.
And then I've been told by physicians 9 to 20 days following radiation. Yeah, even though your radiation, you might be done walking into the building and getting that dose, your body still thinks you're going in, even though you're not. Yeah. So then begins the survivorship. So we've got that area, that's your lifelong health. And that's basically what I've been talking about with the anti-inflammatory approach. You can enter in the Isagenix products as you see fit, as you would like that, according to, again, not during active treatment, but aftercare and survivorship, go for it. And you can include those things with the ionics, the adaptogenic herbs. The e-shot has green tea extract, which is why you can't have it, or it's not recommended during chemo treatment and radiation. And so that was really the layout, the lay of the land for the nutrition component. Would you like to talk about anything with the products, or? Yeah. And then does anybody have any questions for me as far as the nutrition, the intake, the gut health, the websites? Did you get them all down? We've got 3 or 4 websites there. Anything? Any questions about what not to do, coaches? Oh, Isagenix is a nutrition program. And it's been, like I said, it's been third-party tested for quality and content. It's been formulated to provide us with the best nutrition possible. It's shake and bars and things like that. There are all kinds of examples over here. And I know I do it. And go ahead, Ken.
So if I can jump in, my name is Ken Close. What I do is a lot of nutritional coaching, from not just a weight management standpoint, but also from a performance standpoint, performance from the human body. And literally within us all, we have an athlete waiting to be born. And part of the difference between someone simply watching the game and someone performing in the game means the difference in how they're nourishing their bodies and its ability to perform at a higher level. So what she's talking about in terms of Isagenix, it takes a very concentrated nutritional component and gives it to you in a very compact, easy to ingest shape. It's a quick way to get your breakfast, quick way to get your lunch, or even dinner, depends on how you want to do it. So undenatured whey protein, very high concentration. It's New Zealand whey protein, so it comes from a happy cow. If you're not, if someone doesn't want to do any dairy product, there's a non-dairy version. The key is maximizing amino acid intake so that we can, then our body can perform the way it needs to. A lot of times what we're missing is the 70 trace minerals and nutrients, 20 amino acids. We're just not getting them on a regular basis, and so our performance goes down. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're just trying to do the 5-minute walks, the 10-minute walks, or if you're trying to play a high-level skill sports program of some sort. So,
We're just staying awake through the afternoon.
Staying awake through the afternoon. That's another thing. Is your metabolism optimal in increments throughout the day, as opposed to just people's used to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and skipping those mini meals in between. That we tend to lag somewhere around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Perhaps there's a mid-morning low, and this support structure, as Heather mentioned, our bodies are literally running out of steam. So we've got, thank you, my support staff is handling making sure I cover all the details. So that's my daughter, my 6-year-old. But anyway, what she mentioned about hydrogenation, that was a great question, because obviously the subject came up and not everybody's understanding what that is, and it just simply is a convenient way of nourishing your body with a 98% bioavailable ingredients, so that your body will literally utilize the pieces and components, as opposed to maybe some other meals that aren't as easily to digest. Depends on your conditions.
And the shakes have enzymes in them that help break down the nutrition, so it's really gentle on your digestive tract too. So if I guess or digestive issue was something that you're dealing with, your body absorbs 90 to 100% of that nutrition without it having to be digested through your digestive tract.
You're going to get to sample. Yeah. And here you go. Jackie will tell you.
Timing.
Right?
So we call this hope juice, and this is actually greens, and it's really tasty. So if you don't like greens, don't be afraid of this, because it just tastes kind of like punch. So one way of getting your greens in if you're not the best at getting your greens in.
So greens, the question, I mean, what are greens? Well, obviously it's your vegetables that you should be taking in. What's in our vegetables? One of the things I'd like to add, if I could, our bodies are literally mineral engines.
You want to pass those down.
And as we improve our mineral intake, so does
I didn't know they were
the of our bodies. So what a plant is simply a filtering process from the earth to an ingestible mineral system that we can take in. So that's why plants are so important, our vegetables, and getting those in on a regular basis. So again, what Isogenics has done here is given a greens, is basically you're going to get all the nutrients in 2 full servings of vegetables in one concentrate drink, 1 scoop. So like another way of getting it into the body.
I'm hooked in here.
Easily.
Got it. Okay. You can take this off. Do you have a question?
I have a question.
Sure.
Bedtime snack, dark chocolate, strawberries.
That's good.
Mhm.
Pretty good, I imagine. But whenever I have chocolate at bedtime,
Caffeine.
it has caffeine
Mhm.
and I'm wide awake till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so definitely that wouldn't be for you. That's right. So those are just ideas. You can put it in at any time of the day that you want. Just kind of laid it out as a possibility. But that's a good point, because that caffeine can keep you up. Go ahead.
All the chocolate you want that night. Yeah, dark strawberries.
What? I'm sorry.
I'm diabetic.
Okay.
I was wondering how would this affect sugars and all?
It actually helps to drive down the elevated blood glucose. Yes, it does. So with that approach, what you would want to really focus on is of course what you're eating and balancing that out all throughout the day, and have more of a structured timing of that all throughout the day too. So that 3-hour time period really would be beneficial for you. I don't know if that would be a big change for you. You know, it depends on, and we can talk later if you want, but definitely. Because elevated sugars it's an inflammatory marker.
Sure.
So you drive down an inflammation, it helps to drive down the blood sugars as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, before you start this, should you consult with your own doctor?
Well, absolutely. We always recommend you
Because I have
consult
a
with your doctor.
that's,
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. With your doctor or registered dietitian, absolutely.
So one of the challenges is when you start getting into a nutrition based it's not really a repair system, but Hippocrates many years ago said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." And we've kind of steered away from that a little bit. And eating as close to earth as possible is a great idea. But how many times do we have that opportunity in our lives to do that? If we have our garden, literally pull it out of the ground, shake it off, close it off, and eat it. But after you process things far enough, it no longer has the same value. And we need to get things on a regular basis in high qualities. So that's another thing. It's kind of a challenge. The one thing that, and Dr. Bailey's here, and I don't mean to single you out for a second, but I would love to get a little bit of a feedback. What I've heard from other medical doctors is sometimes recommending a product, actually putting their stamp of approval on a product. It takes time because they're going to have to vet that product and make sure that there's not ingredients in there that are harmful or not so much harmful, but are going to in some way have a reaction to your medications. And so that takes time on the behalf of a physician to research that and go through that. Now, they're busy. I mean, Dr. Bailey just said, "Hey, I just got off work. I stopped by here." She was going, I worked all day. I've been there since early this morning. So sometimes, it's good to get a couple of opinions on products that you want to add to your diets, and then let them have time to do so because they're busy. Get them as much literature as possible in the easiest way to digest. Not reading books and books and volumes of ingredients and stuff like that, but maybe giving them an opportunity. Any feedback, Dr. Bailey, on what you say?
Well, I think if you were to do a supplement and you would bring the information to the physician, just like you're saying. But what I would want to see is what makes up this stuff.
Sure.
And so that's what, if the patient brings it into me, I say, what's in here? What makes it sweet? What makes it sour? What's the fiber content? What's the protein content? What's the sugar content? That's what I would want to know for you. So, if you have access to the contents, you would bring that information to your provider.
That's great feedback. Thank you. So that's a cool thing that I6 does. They don't hide anything. There's literally a data sheet in a larger form. It's hard to read that label. It's very small. You got to put a lot of information on there. But you can literally get an ingredient list large enough to see and study. So that's important. If there's a product out there that's not giving you all the input, then really be very. And labels have there's two different types of label. There's a supplement label and a nutrition label. So nutrition labels are regulated differently than just a supplement label. So you take a look at some of the things that are, what's the label? Good. That's all I know.
I can intercept one thing as well. I have a number of healthcare providers that are recommending isogenics, and they recommend that, once again, bring in labels, but also bring in the intent of, I am moving towards shifting towards a healthy wellness system. Will you partner with me to monitor my diabetes or whatever condition? And then you're working in partnership towards the same goals. Okay? And again, they're very busy, but if you have information and then, step up, we're all in charge of our own health. And I can tell you I've been on this system for 10 years and feel better than, I'm 60 now, and feel better than, I did in my 40s because of inflammatory conditions. And this is just good, clean food, but inflammation really is the underlying factor of many diseases. So if we can regulate inflammation, a lot of things will just simply come into balance.
What's this stuff we just took?
The ice of fruits, yeah. So the first one included the ice of greens, and then the second one included the ice of fruits, correct?
Yes.
Jackie
Was it
did.
stirred into something, or is it just it?
She knows the ingredients.
Mixed with, it's called, Isogenics has an orange replenish, which.
It's electrolytes, vitamin B's, vitamin C's. It's just electrolytes. There's no artificial ingredients, no added sugars or artificial flavors.
It's right here.
So it literally is. It's a
replenish
rehydrating
that you guys just
process.
drank. You want to check that out?
So one of our challenges, we can drink water, and Heather mentioned, it's 8 ounces 8 times a day. And yet, where are we getting our electrolytes? So potassium, magnesium, some of the communicating minerals in our body that help cell-to-cell communications, help muscular activity. Where are we getting that? And so if you're experiencing cramps, if you're experiencing muscle spasms, those are kind of symptoms, triggers, indicators that your body's trying to tell you if you're not getting enough electrolytes. So replenish is one of those natural ways, as natural as you can get in the concentrate, aside from doing fruits and vegetables.
Is this all you need for a day?
No, this is just a sample. The replenish itself is something that you can use as just a hydration. You can drink a couple of those a day. It's not something you do all day long, but you can do a couple of those a day. My father uses it. He's 72. He uses it all the time because he sweats like crazy. Some people, you're busy and you lose a lot of fluid. And he drinks a lot of water and still not retaining. He goes to the doctor. The doctor says, "Hey, you're dehydrated." He drinks a gallon of water. Well, dehydration is not just amount of fluids; it's how much electrolytes their body's actually utilizing.
The greens and fruits are a great opportunity for if you have children or grandchildren that really don't like to eat vegetables or they don't get their amounts of fruits. It's a great opportunity to get them in. They taste great, and that's the barter system I have going on. Because I insist you have to have greens. Okay, you can either have them in vegetables or you can have them in the greens, and they'll put it in a shake or. With that taste, it's actually, they love it, so they'll take it. So there's options, but it's going to get nutrition down one way or another.
It doesn't taste like spinach or broccoli.
All right. I think she's mixing up the shake. I can hear.
Yeah, so.
Are there any other questions, whether related to your health specifically or to the isogenic system? How many people here have tried isogenics?
I heard mention of diabetes. So actually, our master formulator, John Anderson, he's known worldwide as the Mineral Man. He's formulated products for over 600 companies and thousands of products. He's a diabetic and literally has designed this around that low glycemic model so that could work out. What's our challenge? Our challenge is if it's a diabetic, it's balancing blood sugars. If it's an athlete, eating enough protein in your day. If it's just someone looking for improvements in health, it's a balanced nutrition, like Heather said. And so you're either eating something 4 times a day or 6 times a day, making meals, taking them with you, and if you have a busy lifestyle, that's a little challenging. Or another alternative is to help supplement with a more convenient, stir it in water kind of format, and add that. I mean, I'm a big proponent of natural foods and as organic and as natural as you can. Like I said, if I can pull it out of the ground and hose it off and eat it, I will. Wiggly worms included. It's important to get the things in as natural as possible, but I have to do this on a regular basis, and sometimes you don't have the room in your tank, right, for a large meal, and yet you need the nutrient content of something that would have a larger volume. So this is a smaller volume, fits in a smaller tank, but high concentration needs. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How many servings in that box?
14. or the canister, same thing, 14 servings. So Heather's talked, and then on the chart there's, and I say, eat as healthy as you possibly can, choose those foods. But for, the isolene shakes, about $3 a meal. And yet you're getting 98% bioavailability. Bioavailability means that your body's literally utilizing that to build something. It's not considered waste. And that's, again, monitoring how much goes in, how much goes out. That's important. If you're putting a lot in, only a couple days later something's coming out, that's equation is not healthy.
Right.
So.
Yeah, Shay, you missed that part.
Well, Heather's the expert in terms of as a dietitian, certified dietitian. I do a lot in the nutritional coaching, so it depends on what's going on. She mentions very well about
doing great.
It's individualized. It's literally a partnership. What's going on with you? Like doctors having a relationship with their parent, but their patients, they gotta have a relationship to understand what's going on. And sometimes people don't tell them everything. And I don't get all the information. And so, we're working on weight management and it's not changing. And I'm not hearing that at 8 o'clock at night they're having a huge bowl of ice cream. And that's why there's things that aren't happening the way they're supposed to. Or maybe there's not getting all the information about, why they're not eliminating because they're eating a lot of dairy and cheese and stuff that's popping them up, right? So we got to work together in that case. And I think Heather's done a great job of showing us some tools. Right? It's all about kind of tool fit out of our toolbox. That's my motto. Have a good toolbox.
I like that.
I think that
Just making
Jackie's making up some shakes right now, so everybody can get a sample of that. If I think there's some coming in. So anybody not like dairy? Is there anyone that does not do dairy?
Your body doesn't do dairy.
And that's
okay.
and so Georgia is she does not utilize dairy, and there is a form that is completely vegan. There is no animal products nor any dairy products in it. It uses a hemp and pea protein base, and it's as close to the amino acid profile as you can get to whey. In building muscle, I'm going to be a little biased from the athletic standpoint because building muscle, it literally is hard to do on vegetable protein. So the animal proteins, the whey protein is one of the best ways to do it. But you can still, it doesn't mean you can't otherwise. It's just, you got to be diligent and know what works for you. If you're having inflammation because of the dairy thing, cut it out. Question?
Quite a few health things tell us to stay away from dairy. So,
well, here's what we have. What you're going to get over the counter, what you're going to go to the grocery store and purchase from the grocery store, is not the same.
Come here. There's people streaming in.
Sorry.
Here you go.
Okay, I'll get over here so everybody can hear me. Hello, everybody.
Does anybody have a sample that wants a sample?
This is pina colada. It's new.
It's just new one.
Yeah, seasonal flavor.
So a question came up about dairy, and there's information and studies and things that are saying, start limiting your dairy intake. Let's back up. Let's back up to a time where we roamed the land and we ate what we had seasonally. We also did an intermittent fasting process where we didn't always have food available on a regular basis. We couldn't go through a drive-through. We typically did not harvest from the land, and yet the bodies that we live in today aren't much different, but we treat it differently. And so the problem doesn't arise from basically what we have available. It arrives from what we don't do anymore. Every culture on this planet, well, except ours, has an intermittent fasting process that they go through to give the digestive system a break. Let the body shift from digestion to foraging to really reacclimate and reset our systems. And so Heather talked about the gut. And so taking a break from digesting foods gives us a time to actually build more human growth hormone, literally giving ourselves the minerals that we need and promoting our lymphatic system, our kidneys, our filtering process. Lots of water. This is not it's a taking the proteins out of our system and giving minerals to our system, giving some of the things that are necessary for support. So nutrients as opposed to protein, and we go into a slight state of ketosis, which, you can find research plus and minus, but the fact remains still that we don't do those intermittent fastings, and our brain can actually flourish better when we take a lot of that protein out of our lives. And the question was about dairy. We were, if you're lucky, you were raised on mother's milk, right? And gave us the first opportunity to start building our immune system, start building our bodies right. The whey protein, the protein that's in isogenics, is a New Zealand protein because there's not strict enough standards in the United States for quality, for non-GMO type of product being fed to the cattle. The cattle are not shot with hormones to keep them lactating year round. They literally are milked within season. Human beings mothers don't lactate if they're not pregnant and going to have a baby. Cows don't either unless you give them some artificial stimulus. And so what we get most of the time is an artificial stimulus. The milk you buy on the shelf is promoted from an artificial stimulus. So those cows are promoting milk all the time. What they're fed with, the cow's designed, their entire digestive system's designed to eat grass. What are they fed? Today, pellets made of various things. I'm not going to go into that because it probably gross you out. But the point is they're not supported. So the cow is going to produce a product, and then we're going to consume it. I often wonder why a label on a gallon of milk would say calcium fortified. So what's one of our sources of calcium? Supposedly our dairy, right? Why would you have to fortify it? Mainly because that was, first of all, produced from an animal that was not as natural as it was. And then that milk goes through a process of removing a lot of the vital nutrients. And so, yeah, you might have a molecule of calcium in there, but genetically it's altered. It's not the same. And so what does our body do with it? Different things. So you drink it and you start promoting inflammation. That's not the right tactic. So if we have a dairy somewhere that is completely organic, and you drink that milk, literally you're going to have to separate the cream. I remember my father and my grandfather milking the cows. And that milk, you literally had cream on it, and you don't get that today in your store. Why is that? Well, because it's been filtered out so much. It's homogenized. It's no longer the exact same genetic match that we need. So you're going to have a trigger. Your body is going to say, I like to call our body a super secret DNA decoder ring. Why? Because it doesn't care about color, taste, temperature, texture, cost. It cares about the DNA. So you take a bite of something, you chew it up, you swallow it, it breaks it down to not just the cell, but the DNA of that cell. And then what I can do with that. All the body cares about is what I can do with what you put in my mouth. And if it can't do anything with it, what's it do? Stores it in our fat. Tries to eliminate it if it can. If it can't, it's going to store it in your fat. And that's a good safe spot for things that are unknown. Problem is they don't leave. And then they bring more and more, and you get bigger and bigger friends. And your body changes its size. Okay? Does that make sense?
I think the people against milk, which I don't know which side to be on, but they are saying that in nature, nothing drinks milk all its life. They're saying that babies, animals, humans, all drink milk when they're young for definite reason. After that,
they don't. That's true. And we grow teeth eventually so that we can chew our food. So you're right. And so what we want to eat whole foods. We want to eat whole foods as much as possible. And we want the amino acid profile of those foods. If we're not getting them, there's other ways of getting them. Whey protein was an anomaly. It used to be thrown away. It was curds and whey. It was separated, and cheese was made, and milk was kept, and the whey was thrown away. Until in the early 70s, it started really being popular in the athletic arena because of its promotion of muscle growth. Our number one friend, number one friend is our gut. Number two friend is our lean muscle mass. As you start to lose lean muscle mass, especially around the age of 60, sarcopenia is kicking in. That lean muscle mass is part of what keeps our lymphatic system moving. Our lymphatic system is what? It's our filter. It's a way of our cells to excrete and get rid of toxins. And if we're not moving it through some kind of, our lymphatic system doesn't have a pump like our heart. for our vascular system. It doesn't have a pump. It's the contraction and the movement of the muscles that keep that fluid moving. So if we're not eliminating properly, we're going to be storing it. Our body becomes toxic and inflamed. I mean, those are just some of the equations. So if you can get all the amino acids and all the nutrients that you need from your raw foods, then you do it. The problem is it doesn't always fit in your tank, and you're going to be eating about every 30 minutes. So does that make sense? I mean, I'm open for questions too. I don't want to take them.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
Good.
My goal is performance, and so if my body or the people I'm working with aren't performing, they're not making the team, and it's certain, and the body never stops growing, even after we pass away and there's no life left in the body. It still has energy. It decomposes. It still changes all the time. So we're changing every moment, and the way we're changing, 100 trillion cells dividing every day, and to the tune of millions. And what you're regenerating with is what you're eating. So it takes about 400 days for brain cells to turn over, about 200 days for a muscle cell to turn over. About every 90 days, you've got new blood. So it takes a while. You can't just go change something for a week and say it don't work, or does work, or I'm cured. I mean, you got to spend some time, and sometimes you do something for a month and you go, oh my gosh, this isn't working, right? It's not time wasted. It's time invested. So what doesn't work. And I know a lot of things that don't work. But if you haven't tried everything, you don't know what does work. So I always say, be open-minded and give something a shot. And I'm always available. I don't know if anybody's left any of their contact information, but if you're interested in need more information from me, I'm available through Heather or Ethan through Jackie. Okay. All right. I'm giving up the mic. I don't want to be up here. I wasn't intended to be up here.
Oh, that's awesome. It's great. Thanks, Ken. All right. So, yeah. Anything else?
If you're curious on packs, they actually coordinate packs to fit lifestyles. We're more than willing to chat with you individually. You can simply get a canister if you choose. So you tailor it for your lifestyle, for your goals, along with the whole foods that you need. So just know that there's packs over there that we can walk you through. What does that look like and such. So thank you so much, Heather.
Thanks,
So
Carol.
appreciate it.
I think we have any questions there. Okay. Yes, we're good.
Yeah. What time is it?
We're at 7:30 also. We'll be out of the room in time for them to do their thing. So thank you guys for coming. And we're around to ask questions too. Heather's here. You can head out and ask her questions if you want to talk to her a little more individually and didn't want to talk in front of everybody else. So, and she's available to us anytime. So if you get a hold of the person who invited you, you can get in hold of her. So if you have questions later down the road. So
The only contact I have with you are the number to the rest of the
no, just get hold of me since I'm the one who invited you, and yeah, obviously I know Heather. I have the end with her, so yeah. I do. If you are interested at all, I did bring I have catalogs if you're at all interested in this. Mainly it was to educate you on, we had such a mixed group here. So, but if you are interested, there's this, and feel free to take this home. This is yours to keep. And then you can talk to the person who invited you if you are interested. And you can, if you're interested in tonight ordering something, that's fine. We can help you with that. And then there's also contact information here. If you can't get a hold of the person who invited you, we will figure that out. So anyways, so feel free. I don't know if you want to pass those. I have more than that too. So I have more than that.
Did everybody get some of these?